What's going on, everybody? This is Jeff with Living in Arizona, and today we've got many video requests coming in. I'm going to try and get around to as many of them as I can. This one from Mark Johnson. He wants to do Phoenix versus Austin and/or Phoenix or Arizona versus New Mexico. So those I'll add to the list. So that's a good idea. I just got to do a little research, Mark, and I'll take a look at that. And then Jordan B is the one I'm going to be taking this one here. He says, Jeff, can you do a video about high and low crime rates in Arizona is what he's asking about. I know you've touched on some areas that were less likable than others, but I'd be interested in a video or two about which areas have the highest crime rates of burglaries, murder rates, and drug-related crimes. And he said, hey, thank you for all the videos thus far. It's been very informative. And so we're going to do this, Jordan. And just in case you guys are wondering, I have made a video about how safe is Arizona where I touch on a lot of this, and I will put a link above here. Just go ahead and click on that. After you've watched this video, go back to the beginning and click on that link, and I'll also put a link at the end in case you miss it to how safe is Arizona, because that is really related to this. If you are new here and you are thinking about living in Arizona, or you just want to stay up to date, go on to Living Arizona, hit subscribe, and click that bell to get notified when we drop these videos. Let's go ahead and dial this in now. So we are going to look at the crime data in Phoenix because this is what you guys want to know, right? So you've got a whole list of recent crimes. You can pull this up on Trulia.com, but you could see counts of theft, 59,000, counts of assault, 50,000, counts of burglary, 36,000, and you can even go in here and drill it in to see where it's safer and less safe. And so this is basically going to tell you where the safe areas are versus the less safe areas are. The lighter the color blue, the safer. The darker the color blue, the more dangerous is what it looks like here. So you could see not all of Phoenix is dangerous, but there are certain neighborhoods in Phoenix that have that blue color that indicates that it's not as safe. So you have this area right here in Phoenix, nice. But you could see that if we just go in here towards Scottsdale, for the most part, you're going to have a lot more safer communities. And so if you go over here to the west side, you can see it's not as safe as, say, Scottsdale, right? Arcadia, safe. Now, Mesa also indicates that it's not as safe as, say, Gilbert and or Chandler area. All of this is city, but you can see it doesn't register much crime out here. Okay, so this whole area, all filled in, all city, very low crime rates right here. This is Gilbert, Chandler towards Queen Creek, very low crime rates. If we were to look at this on a satellite, you would see this is all city, and the fact that it doesn't have very much crime. But Mesa, we've talked about this. Look how much crime register is going on in Mesa. So let's go ahead and dial this in even more and go on to crime in Arizona and how much it's been improving or getting worse or less, right? So if you go here in 1960, you can see we're going to go by rates per 100,000, okay? And this is going to be just overall crime. In the 80s, we had the highest rate of crimes, okay? So it has gotten safer. Per 100,000, we are now looking at 3,500 in 2014. So yes, it did get safer. Now, if you're looking at violent crimes in Arizona, we are also getting safer on that. And with property crimes, we are getting safer. So the 80s and 90s, Phoenix had more crimes per 100,000 people than it does right now. One thing I do want to talk about, capital punishment in Arizona. Capital punishment is a legal penalty in the U.S. state of Arizona. When the prosecution seeks the death penalty, the sentence is decided by the jury and must be unanimous. Wow, that's a tough one to call. Capital punishment's a tough one, but that's a whole nother video all in of itself, but I'm just letting you know it is a capital punishment state. Also, open carry in Arizona. Arizona laws operate at the state level and are very permissive. They allow any person who is at least 18 years old to open carry and 21 years old to over to conceal a firearm without a permit. Arizona was the second state after Alaska to enact constitutional carry laws. Why am I mentioning this in crime? Because people who are considering making a crime will reconsider this, knowing that Arizona is an open carry and a concealed carry state for people who are over 21. People who, that is that's a deterrent, or at least that's the logic behind it. So I can make a video on open carry and gun laws in Arizona. That's a whole other subject, just like capital punishment. It really is. I mean, these are subjects all in of itself. Now, if we want to know the safest cities in Arizona, you could see right here on alarms.org, they've got the data. You've got some parts of the state, very low crime statistics, with the safety statistics being Florence, Oro Valley, Paradise Valley, Somerton, Sahuarita. Florence is out here in the Southeast Valley by Queen Creek, Santan Valley, and then you've got Florence. Now, another thing to consider about Florence, that's where the state penitentiary is, or the prison is in Florence. That's why you'll hear people saying, like if they work in DP or corrections for the corrections agency, they're going out to Florence. Oro Valley, that's in Tucson. Paradise Valley, that's near Scottsdale. Somerton, Arizona, that's in the southwest. And Sahuarita, that's also down by Tucson. So Tucson, doesn't have a good rap on most cases, but in this case, it's got two cities or suburbs that are ranking in the top. You can see right here, if you really want the data, you got to go on AZDPS. That's Arizona Department of Public Safety. So crime reports in Arizona, let's go ahead and take a look at the crime report for the state from DPS. Calling the crime cycle. The following represents the approximate number of crimes index offenses that were reported to the Arizona law enforcement agencies every 24 hours during 2017. 1 murder per 24-hour cycle, 9 rapes, 20 robberies, 53 aggravated assaults per 24 hours in Phoenix, 100 burglaries. That's quite high, I think. 394 larceny thefts every 24 hours, 50 motor vehicle thefts every 24 hours, 3 arsons, 0 human trafficking. So let's keep this data report continuing here. So the next line item that we're going to discuss is going to be crime in Phoenix based on, rapes, murders, robberies, assaults, burglaries, just so you know what happened out there in that particular time. So you could see in 2016, we had 146 murders in Phoenix. That is higher than 2015, 14, 13, 12, but lower than 2007, 2006, 2005. So the rapes are up. Wow, that's a lot of rapes. Robberies, those appear to be, robberies are still pretty high. They're not as high as they were in 2008, 2007, 2006. Assaults, those were up last year, or in 2016. You can see, these are all right here. You can zoom in on them. You can pause the video and look if you want to see exactly what you want to see. But this is going to be on citydata.com for Phoenix. You can go to any city for city data. You just got to go to citydata.com and basically drill in your city. You just go search. You want Peoria, you want Glendale, it'll give you the stats. But you can see how dangerous Phoenix is compared to the nearest cities. You can see Phoenix is pretty dangerous compared to Paradise Valley. Glendale's a little bit more dangerous. Scottsdale's pretty safe. Scottsdale, Paradise Valley are pretty safe. Tolleson, not so much. Tempe's a little bit safer than Phoenix, not by a lot. Peoria's safer than all of those, even safer than Scottsdale. So Peoria, there you go. Avondale. And this has all when our crimes committed in Arizona. You can see that it looks like a lot of crimes are committed reported Friday, 9 to 10 a.m. A lot of people, they might wake up to a crime from Thursday night, So that's it right there. And then we can go back and talk about some of the safer places. You've got Gilbert, again, depending on how they're calculating the data and just, they're retrieving the data and then creating the algorithm that produces the score. Gilbert, safe. Paradise Valley, safe. Florence, safe. On a whole nother website. Best places for families. Gilbert, Paradise Valley, Florence. Same kind of thing. And then you've got more data that you can drill down across the City of Phoenix website. You can see they've got all that data that you saw on Wikipedia. That's phoenix.gov. I mean, to anyone who's really serious about learning about the data, these are the resources that you can pull from. Hopefully this at least painted the picture of what you guys wanted to know and let you know about the crime in Phoenix, the crime in Arizona. There are pockets of Phoenix. Central Phoenix is considered not the safest place to be, okay? So if you're moving to Arizona, I mean, here you go. This is Neighborhood Scout. They're telling you top 10 safest cities. Again, this is across Arizona: Patagonia, Tonopah, Florence, Amado, Hereford, Bowie. That's kind of ridiculous because most of these places you won't even know about. Really, but you can still zone it in right here to Phoenix and get the data on here. Again, one of these neighborhood reports, you just hit zoom in and there you go. It'll show you. So what you would do is you would find the address of the home or the location or the neighborhood you're wanting to move to, and then you can use these color graphs to suggest whether or not it's safe or not. I mean, it's all of you could move to any different place, right? But if we just go to Gilbert, let's see how Gilbert stacks up compared to Phoenix. Let's see if they give us the graph for Gilbert. Okay, so you could see Phoenix had a lot different chart, but here's some of the safer places in Gilbert. Some of the highest rates are in South Gilbert. Queen Creek, let's see how Queen Creek stacks up. Some places in Queen Creek are safe. The closer to the mountains, the higher the rent, the safer the community. That's it. There's the answer right there. You want safe communities? Pay the premium. Sure, you're going to have some areas that are high rent, but that are going to have some crime, but that's generally the rule of thumb. Although it is kind of safe out in Buckeye, and it is fairly affordable in Buckeye. But as that continues to build up, where low income and all that stuff starts to build up, next thing you know, Buckeye comes on the radar where, it's no longer, it's vulnerable because of the lower income stuff. But it's still higher income. Buckeye being brand new, it's not super affordable like Tolleson or Phoenix, Central Phoenix, where you can pay $700 a month. Buckeye, you might have to pay $1,200 to $1,400 a month for a place, right? So anyways, guys, thanks everyone for watching this video. Thanks for liking it and asking the questions. I got so many questions. I'm going to keep making the videos. I've got a lot of videos to make this weekend.